It looks to me like the student is teasing the teacher here a little bit. So, you know, he's trying to put him on tilt or something, showing him a card like that. You know, well, I'm not sure that's a wise move on his part. I think you're better off not to show him any cards.
You're needling, and you want to get a player to be upset.
Yeah, well, look at him. I think he succeeded.
To about 460,000, roughly.
You can't beat me.
No,
it's just can't.
Well, they're laughing, they're joking around. Now let's go down to Shauna, who's with Russ Hamilton.
Russ, you're a great world champion. What do you think about this?
I think it's great for poker. You've got one guy that's only been playing for 3 months. The other guy's been playing for 3 years. He's taught his friend to play. I've played poker with both of them. They're both excellent players. And for someone that's just learned 3 months ago, he's playing very well.
Okay, with that last pot, Ansi is coming up to virtually put himself in a tie in the chip position. It's a pretty heads-up match. Tough match right now.
It's a great match. It's got to be exciting for both players. Juha's looking at his hand. Look at it. He's just picked up a big hand, though. He just picked up ace-king. And obviously, heads up, that's a very strong hand.
Raise to 80,000.
There you go. Big raise. Makes it up to 80,000.
Made it 80,000 to go. It's 50 more thousand to Ansi.
A $50,000 raise.
Look at Ansi. Ansi has picked up a monster hand himself, an ace-queen offsuit, and he's moved all in with his chips.
Okay, he's putting it all on the line. Little does he know that he's a big underdog.
He's put it all in, $470,000.
Call.
And he's been called.
And the teacher calls him.
Let's see the hands. They are all in ace king.
And Ansi lets out a deep sigh of frustration. He is sick to see the teacher have ace king. He knows he's a major underdog now, and he's got to get very lucky. Look at him. He's hiding his face. I don't really fault him for making that play heads up with an ace-queen, however.
Okay, let's get lucky. No.
Well, it's a dream situation for Juha. He has an ace-king against ace-queen.
Well, I tell you, I think Ansi's played fantastic poker against him. He sort of outplayed him until this pot.
Juha has more chips than Ansi at this point. If Juha does wind up winning this hand, the match will be over. However, if Ansi gets lucky and outdraws Juha and wins the hand, Juha will still have a few chips left.
This hand will determine your winner, that's for sure.
With ace king against ace queen.
All right.
Okay, let's see the flop.
Here we go.
And then we'll hold up.
He's pointing at him. I'm going to outdraw you, he says. Let's see if he does. Flop comes king, jack, eight.
That's big for Juha with the kings.
Well, it's big, but it also gives a straight draw to Ansi.
Turn card.
So if a 10 comes off, he will win.
It's a 3.
It's a 3. Ansi is going to need a 10.
Down to one card.
Or the teacher is going to win this tournament.
See the last card.
It's a 6.
It's a 6.
The teacher stands up. He's excited.
Juha's done it.
First place winner today. Congratulations.
Ansi, kidding around, shakes his hand.
Very close finish.
They give each other a hug. This is Juha Helppi, our champion from Helsinki, Finland.
Well, he's the coach. You know, he should win this.
Now Juha's going to get to watch the pro division and see who he's going to play for that precious seat in the World Poker Tour Championship Final. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
You can become the next WPT Poker Made Millionaire, but you have to play to win.
The action's about to get underway in the pro division of the Ultimate Poker Classic. 4 of the greatest players in the world. This is going to be an exciting poker event.
4 of the great pros are coming out right now.
They're playing for $250,000, winner take all. The winner here will meet our amateur champion from Finland to battle for that seat in the World Poker Tour Championship.
Yeah, good old Juha sitting on the sideline. He has done it. He gets to watch 4 legendary players of the poker world battle it out for a shot at him.
And he's young, he's fearless, he's got $50,000 in his pocket. The pro is expected to beat the amateur, but I think they're going to have their hands full with him. We're in the Pro Division Championship of the Ultimate Poker Classic. Let's get to the table and see the action.
Shuffle up and deal.
You are going to see championship poker at its finest today. Our chip leader on the pro side is former world champion Phil Hellmuth. Now, Vince, if you said that Phil had won 1,000,000 tournaments, he'd say you're underestimating. He's very confident, a very aggressive player. He's starting out today with 30,000 in chips.
Okay, now Phil Gordon has the next biggest stack with 20,000. This guy sold his technology company in the late 90s, and he's been playing in the biggest games ever since.
In seat 1, another former world champion and a tournament superstar, Scotty Wynn. Scotty starting out today with 15,000 in chips.
And finally, Jennifer Harman is also a multiple title holder, but she's most feared for crushing big-time opponents in cash games. She's got the short stack with 14,000.
First hand action is underway. The action will be on Scotty Wynn, former world champion. He mucks, and Phil Hellmuth folds, and Phil Gordon, he has a king deuce, he folds. Jennifer Harman gets a ground skinner.
Ground skinner means that, well, because she had the most money in, no one else contested, she's going to win that pot. She takes it, she's smiling, she's happy.
You're always happy when they give it up to you, especially since you had a Jack-5 offsuit. Vince, it's ladies first. Jennifer Harman, most considered to be the greatest woman poker player in the world, and some think she's the best poker player in the world. Jennifer, when she comes over the top, she's got a hand, Vince. She's not one to Mickey Mouse around.
This is a tough table. There's a lot of stress involved. It's very mental. You want to win it, so that's what you try to do.
I look for the two Phils to be the most aggressive players. They're not afraid to put their chips in the pot. I look for them to be the aggressors here today at this final. The action is on Phil Hellmuth right here. And Phil's picked up an ace-6 offsuit. An ace-high in a four-handed game.
I raise.
And Phil's going to raise, it looks like.
Well, you know, four-handed, people out there saying, well, what could you possibly be raising with an ace-6 for? But in four-handed, you got to play much more aggressive. Now, this is interesting. Phil Gordon next to him has a real nice pair of jacks in his hand.
Look at Phil Hellmuth looking at him.
How's he going to play it? He's going all in.
He's going all in. He's picked up two jacks. He's played right over the top for all his money on hand number 2 right here against Phil Hellmuth. He loves to play against Phil Hellmuth. I mean, a few years ago, they were at the final table of the World Championship together. He was not intimidated by him then. I don't expect him to be intimidated by him today.
Jennifer Harman threw away an ace-queen, ordinarily a pretty strong hand.
Right, Jennifer had ace-queen, but the pot was raised and re-raised all in, and Jennifer opted to throw the ace-queen away.
Scotty's going out now. It's between the two Phils.
How much is it? 20,000.
Should be 20,000 even.
And Phil Hellmuth throws his ace-6 offsuit away. Phil Gordon picks up that pot.
A real pair of jacks. That's pretty darn good.
Phil Gordon wins the pot.
Phil does have the nerve to come right over the top of Phil Hellmuth. Many times that puts Phil a little bit on tilt. Phil's a very aggressive player. He likes to raise and pick up lines and antes all the time. This is what Phil Hellmuth's style is. If Phil has one weakness in his game, is that he does get to steaming a little bit when people raise him over the top.
There's definitely a zone there. If you make 4 or 5 mistakes, you're going to get eliminated. Sometimes all it takes is one mistake. But if you're doing everything right, it's a beautiful place to be.
Huh? I had ace-jack.
Now, Phil Hellmuth is a world champion,
You had ace-queen?
but he's also a great trash talker. Maybe the world champion in trash talk. People either love him or hate him. Controversial figure in the poker world.
Jennifer looks at a 6-4 and folds her hand.
Yep.
And now it's on Scotty. Now, Scotty hasn't gotten involved in a pot yet.
You had 2 monsters.
And he's going to raise, it looks like, on the button here. He doesn't have much.
Now, Scotty Wynn, he's calling this hand.
Yet, bro. How would I know?
He likes to talk trash, too, but he's in there with another great one, Phil.
Scotty comes in the pot for 2,200. He's raised on the button. He's in favorable position, and Phil throws away a Jack-10 offsuit, and Phil Gordon has a 7-9 of hearts, a hand you like to play. He throws it away. Scotty Wynn wins the pot.
Scotty Wynn doesn't have to show his hand, but, you know, he made a good raise. He took the pot without having to show them and took the pot down.
Scotty Wynn, a truly great poker player.
Well, he's quite a character. He's a world champion. He is very feared here. It's good to see him out here in the sunshine.
Sometimes it's tough for us to play against people you don't know. You make a wrong move, you're so embarrassed.
Oh, no!
That's poker.
Phil Gordon opens the pot for 1,900.
I noticed that Phil Gordon just turned his chair around. He does this all the time when he plays poker. It's just more comfortable for him to turn around and play like this. He likes to cross his arms on the chair. Maybe it's easier for him to push his chips in that way. I don't know, but he likes to get them in there. I know that. Phil Gordon is not afraid. He has very competitive blood. He likes to compete at everything. He's a sportsman. So he's here to win this thing. Make no mistake about it. He's not playing for second place.
I felt like an underdog going into today. I'm going to play steady poker. I'm going to try to turn over the best hand as often as I can, and I'm going to hope to catch some cards. It's four-handed. Anything can happen.
A lot of amateur poker players are in the crowd today, eagerly watching this match. They know that the amateur winner, Juha, will get to play the winner. They cherish those opportunities, you know what I mean? It's like getting to play against a Tiger Woods or a Michael Jordan. In the poker world, it can really happen.
I can relate to the tennis world. It's like taking the top college player in tennis and giving him a shot at Pete Sampras.
Here comes Jennifer Harmon. Now she's raising in first position with a King-7. King-7 of diamonds, she comes in for 1,700.
Total of 1,700.
Well, Scotty has a King-6 offsuit and folds, and Phil folds Jack-9. Now here's Phil Gordon in the big blind. He's going to call another 1,100 with a Queen-5 of clubs.
Phil calls.
Well, that's a pretty amazing call with a Queen-5 out of position. Not sure I like that call.
Flop comes King, Queen, 7.
What a flop for Jennifer.
Suits.
Flop has come King, Queen, 7.
King, Queen, 7.
Jennifer's flop 2 pair. Phil Gordon flop a second pair, and he leads out and bets 2,100.
Phil Gordon bets 2,100.
Well, Jennifer's doing her little acting job here, little Jane Fonda.
She's going for the Oscar.
Yeah, look at her. She's so excited, deep down. Flop 2 pair, have some sucker on your right betting into you.
I'm all in.
She's going all in.
There she goes.
She's going over the top. She's not going to let him catch any cards to outdraw
Phil Gordon
her.
had bet 2,100, and Jennifer is raising all in.
Now Phil Gordon has a second pair with a bad kicker. I can't see him calling this. It's going to cost him another 7,000 or so.
Phil gave it a shot. Second best pair, but he's got to give this up. You would think, yeah, he's going to do it.
And he does. He shows her the queen. He lays his hand down. Jennifer Harmon flopped 2 pairs. She raised an early position with a King-7, got a nice flop, won a good pot.
Hey, no clapping for her.
Well, Jennifer cracks a smile as she picked up a nice little pot there.
How great is it to stack your chips, to rake in a nice winning pot?
All poker players love to stack chips.
So that's what 1,700 means. 1,800 means you're going to let it go on the flop. 1,700 means you're going all the way with it. All right.
You've got to hand it to Phil. He knew that Jennifer wasn't bluffing.
I just wanted to find out
And
what
speaking of
1,700
bluffing, Shauna has been out scouring the island for the art of the bluff.
And bluffing in poker is an art.
When people think of poker, the first thing they think of is bluffing. So let's get into this WPT Poker Corner, the art of the bluff.
Bluffing is, just like, if you don't bluff in poker, there is no poker.
For the pros, a bluff doesn't work on just one level. To beat the best in the world, you have to play the game within the game.
You look down at your hand to make sure you have that hand. They think, okay, she's double checking to make sure that she has the best hand and that she has the nuts. I'm going to lay down my hand.
So bluffing is obviously important, but being able to read bluffs is critical.
You can tell by the speed they make their bet, if they look away, if they look at you.
You can watch a man's facial expressions, the way he pushes in the chips.
Mostly it's body language.
Poker pros think they're good at identifying bluffs because they're watching every little movement, but you can't always trust what you see.
When I'm not bluffing, I'm real still. I try to act nervous. I try to swallow, that kind of stuff to get them to call me. And all I'm saying in my head is call, 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 please call.
Winning players know you sometimes have to bet, even when you have the worst hand. But there's another reason to do it.
When you bluff a big pot, you feel good.
Action is on Scotty here.
Doesn't have much of a hand. He's gonna throw it away like he should.
Throws his hand away. Now here comes Phil Hellmuth. He's raising with a Queen-6 of diamonds on the button. He's in position. Phil Gordon beats him in the pot almost with the King-Queen.
So we have the battle of the Phils.
Look at this. You know, these guys have their own little private match race going on.
Phil Gordon actually loves to play pots with Phil Hellmuth. Most people shy away from him. Phil Gordon can't wait to get in there with him.
Oh, wow, look at this flop.
Flop is King-Queen 3 with 2 hearts. It's a great flop for Phil Gordon. He's flopped a top 2 pair.
Now it's a full house for Phil Gordon.
A queen. Oh, this could spell trouble for Phil Hellmuth. He has made 3 queens on the turn.
3 queens for Phil Hellmuth. Look at this.
Phil has made 3 queens on the turn.
Gordon's bet.
He's bet 1,200. Phil Gordon's bet 1,200. And Phil Hellmuth calls him.
Just calling him.
He's got 3 queens. He's drawing dead. He doesn't know it.
Last card, 4 clubs.
Last card off is the 4 clubs. Now, Phil Gordon is going to your acting school. He's trying to get an Oscar out of this. He's acting like he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't have much, when in fact he has a powerful hand, queens full of kings.
He's got a monster, a huge hand. Now, how much can he get out of it?
He's betting about 6,000, it looks like. Now, Phil Hellmuth has 3 queens. He's looking at 3 hearts on the board.
He's just saying, please call me, please call me.
But he has trips.
And he's going to call him?
He has one of those little cars that has a ranking of hands on it. He's trying to act like he, what do I have, what do I have? The man's called me.
Oh, no.
Now he turns up the king, queen, and the full house. He's got queens full of kings. He slow rolled them.
He slow rolled them a little bit.
He's trying to act like, what do I have? Look, it's the hand rankings.
Phil Gordon with the absolute rocks. Plays with them here.
Now there's a little gamesmanship here. Look now he's pitched the card over to Phil. Says, maybe you need this worse than I do. Oh, my golly.
15,000.
Well, I have to give Phil Hellmuth a little bit of credit there for not losing any more money than he did with that pot, for not raising with 3 queens there.
He contained himself with 3 queens. That's strong. You'd think you're normally going to have that hand, and he should have gone broke with that.
That's amazing. That's all he lost in that pot.
Good defense by Phil Hellmuth.
You're watching Poker in Aruba. It doesn't get any better than this. We'll be right back.
We've been watching a battle between the 2 Phils as Phil Gordon stuck it to Phil Hellmuth Jr. But Hellmuth Poker's big mouth could bite back at any time.
The game is really heating up now, so let's get back to the action.
Didn't get it all.
Now, believe me, Phil is going to get a little frustrated by it. He's going to try to act cool here, but I think that that little act that he put on there, like, what do I have, and getting that card is going to get to him here.
Hey, I'm impressed with Phil Gordon. Look at this guy. He's loose. He's happy. He's making some great plays. Sits, his chair backwards.
Phil Gordon folded his hand. Now Jennifer has an ace-deuce of diamonds. She's in position on the button. She comes in for 1,700. Action is on Scotty. Scotty folds his hand. Now here comes Phil Hellmuth. He's got a 9-8. Phil likes to see a lot of flops because he likes to outplay people after the flop. So he's called this raise out of the big blinds. Cost him another 1,200. And we're going to have a flop.
Flop comes 10-8-4.
Now the flop comes 10-8-4 with 2 diamonds. Now Jennifer has flopped the nut flush draw. The best possible hand if a diamond comes up there. Let's see what happens.
Well, Hellmuth has got second best pair. He's got the pair of 8s. It's kind of interesting. She's going to check.
That's interesting. Phil has checked.
JHT checks.
And Jennifer has checked. Jennifer has checked the nut flush draw and made the flush. Look at this. The 9 of diamonds has come on the turn, giving Jennifer the very best possible hand. It's also given Phil Hellmuth 2 pair, 9s and 8s.
The great thing about it is Phil Hellmuth has to act first. It's on him, and he checks, and here goes Jennifer.
Jennifer bets 2,000.
He checks, and Jennifer bets 2,000. A very small bet with the very best hand possible. Phil is asking her how much she has left. Whoa.
Well, he didn't put her on 4 diamonds after the flop.
Look at this. Now, Jennifer has about 9,000 or 10,000 left. Phil wanted to know how much it was. He's made 2 pair on the turn. Phil Hellmuth could be heading for whitewater here in his canoe.
Jennifer bets 2,000.
Jennifer's doing a great acting job here. I mean, I feel like taking out my violin for her. This is like, this is sad sack here. she's got the rocks.
Now, there's 3 diamonds out there, a possible straight out there. Phil Hellmuth has 2 pair. Now, he knows it went check on the flop.
He's going.
He's going all in. He's going to set Jennifer Harmon all in. She's going to make sure she's got the nuts again.
Big trap time.
She's going to break out into a big smile here shortly. I can promise you that. She calls it. She's all in.
There she is.
Look at Phil.
Oh, no.
Phil knows he has fumbled the ball here. Now, Phil's not dead. He can catch a 9 or an 8 and still win this pot.
No.
He doesn't. It's a 6 that comes off. Jennifer Harmon has doubled up. You know, the key to that play was Jennifer checking the nut flush draw on the flop. There's not many players that would check that in that spot. I'm telling you, when the first person checks and you have the nut flush draw, you're going to bet on the flop in most cases. Jennifer checked right behind Phil. It turned out where it trapped him perfectly because he made 2 pair on the turn. She made the nut flush.
Nice hand, Jennifer.
A well-played hand by Jennifer. She is doubled up, and that hand has really hurt Phil Hellmuth.
Start digging the ditch because Phil Hellmuth has just been buried.
The sun is shining on Jennifer in Aruba.
Jennifer Harman isn't just one of the best women poker players. She's one of the best, period. Jennifer has been playing and winning at cards for as long as she can remember.
I was a baby when I started. I was 13. My dad used to have poker games, and when he got stuck and was losing money, he'd say, "Come on, Jennifer, get in this game, get me even." I was 13 years old. So I'm in this game with all these people that I thought were 80. Of course, they're not that old, but I was 13, so I felt like I'm playing with these ancient guys, and I loved it.
Since becoming a professional, the guys Jennifer plays poker with have gotten younger and better.
It's a man's world. It always has been. Maybe it won't be in the future, but it is now.
But some things never change. Jennifer is still a force to be reckoned with.
Never mind woman poker player. I mean, Jennifer Harman is probably the best woman side game player in the world. She's also won 2 world championships. She's a great player.
What's in the cards for women in poker? Well, if Jennifer Harman's success is any indication, then the future looks very sweet indeed.
It's nice to be respected for all the hard work that you've done, so of course that makes you feel good. What I just try to do is be the best I can for me.
Well, Jennifer's feeling good right now. She put the bait on the hook, and Phil Hellmuth went for it, hook, line, and sinker.
Phil Hellmuth being smacked around.
Players really do like to beat him. There's no question about it.
It's always nice to beat one play out of a pot, but when it's Phil Hellmuth, it feels like you've won 5 pots.
Stay with us. The players are going on.